I recall seeing a young Leaping Lanny Poffo hold the then NWA champion Terry Funk in a head scissors on the mat for at least 10 minutes before Funk prevailed. Another match I recall fondly was when Pat O'Connor held a young and up-and-coming Ric Flair in the standing leg split for a good 5 to 7 minutes during their match, which ended up with Flair getting color, which was a rarity on St. Louis TV, and an eventual disqualification. I know it was a different time, but the live TV audience went wild for the babyfaces in these matches, as I did in front of our 19-inch black and white set. Part of the allure of these matches was the underdog factor, with Poffo being the unknown in St. Louis, and O'Connor being near the end of his in-ring career, but there was something fascinating about the stories being told through, for lack of a better term, simple rest holds. Can you please point to a few wrestlers you consider to be the masters of getting rest holds over?
Well, and actually, I never even heard that term until people started using it in newsletters in the 80s or whatever, a rest hold. It's a fucking hold. You're supposed to have holds in a wrestling match. The high spots are supposed to be the anomaly, the thing that varies up the holds in a wrestling match. So you're actually supposed to have fewer of them than you actually do wrestling holds. And so, of course, to build the drama or the tension or further the conflict or escalate the emotion of the match or whatever, yeah, guys learned how to work holds. But that doesn't mean that you just have to be sitting there on your ass in a fucking hold. You have to have the expression on your face of the pain and convey what's going on in the body language, or whether you're waving your arms or because it's a leg hold, or whether you're kicking your legs because it's an arm hold, or whether you look like you're trying to struggle to get out of it, or whether the guy that is applying it looks like he's really cranking down, trying to make you give up. That can be, in some cases, as, physically exerting or exhausting as actually, running, hitting the ropes and giving people tackles. But it's all part of the illusion of what you're trying to create, which is a wrestling match. So, I mean, all great workers down through history have been wonderful at rest holds, because if they were great workers, the majority of their match would actually be holds, and they would still be in the main events and still be drawing money.
In terms of who's a master of the rest hold?
If everybody, a master would, what hold? That any hold that you apply could technically, by his definition, be termed a rest hold. So,
I guess though. Again, he did say "quote unquote" rest holds. He's pointing out that isn't the best way to phrase it, but I think to the general theme of what he was saying, who can get impact out of something like that. My first thought when I read this was Johnny Valentine, just because of the pace, I guess, and how. Well, yeah, that was my first thought.
But any wrestler that got a particular hold over, not a finishing move like a, suplex or whatever, but an actual wrestling hold over as their finish, the object of going either weakening a body part that hold affects, or actually going for that hold itself, being told through the story, was, basically one of the main reasons to have those holds. So, you could look at anybody from Buddy Rogers with the figure four to Pat O'Connor with his O'Connor roll up, which technically a hold, starts with a waist lock.
All right. Well, I guess that answers that.
I don't know what else to say.